My father leaned closer to the FaceTime camera. His eyes were cold and tired. He said, "How did I end up with a son like you?" I did not raise my voice. I did not argue. I simply said, "Then pretend you never had one." I ended the call. I blocked his number. I blocked my mother. I blocked my brother. And for the first time in my life, the silence felt safe. My name is Evan Miller. I'm 34 years old. This is the story of how my family treated me like a spare for 30 years and then lost everything when I stopped saving them. I was 6 years old when I learned that love in our house came with conditions. My younger brother Ryan was 4. That year, my parents threw him a birthday party that filled the entire street. There was a bounce house, a clown, loud music, and gifts stacked higher than he was tall. 2 weeks earlier, it had been my birthday. I got a card and a quick hug. My mother said we would celebrate later. Later never came. When I asked why Ryan got so much more, my mother sighed and said, "He is little, he needs it more." That sentence followed me my entire life. As we grew older, the pattern became clear. Ryan cried and got comfort. I struggled and got lectures. Ryan forgot homework and got excuses. I made mistakes and got punished. By 10 years old, I packed my own lunches. Ryan had everything done for him. They called me easy. What they really meant was invisible. When Ryan turned 13, he wanted my bedroom. My parents agreed immediately. I was moved to the basement temporarily. That temporary move lasted 6 years. The basement flooded every spring. It smelled like mold. There was one small window near the ceiling. Ryan got a gaming setup and a new desk. I got a dehumidifier that barely worked. When I complained, my father said, "Be grateful you have a roof." Ryan was never told to be grateful. High school made everything worse. I worked nights at a grocery store. Ryan played video games. I studied for exams. Ryan barely passed his classes. Teachers praised me. My parents barely noticed. At my graduation, we went to a cheap restaurant. My father checked his phone the entire time. At Ryan's graduation 2 years later, there was a catered party, a DJ, and speeches about how proud they were of their son. That was the moment I understood that success only mattered if Ryan achieved it. I went to college with scholarships and loans. Ryan needed to find himself, so my parents paid for a private creative school. They paid tuition. They paid rent. They gave him spending money. I asked for help buying textbooks once. My mother said, "We already do so much." They did, just not for me. By 25, I was exhausted, but stable. By 25, Ryan had dropped out twice and moved back home. They called it support. I called it avoidance. I stopped calling. I stopped visiting. They barely noticed. Everything exploded when Ryan got engaged. The family group chat filled with wedding plans and expensive venues. Then, my mother sent a message saying we all needed to contribute. She said, as the older brother, I was expected to give $20,000. I stared at my phone. $20,000 for a wedding I was never valued in. I replied that I could not do that. The messages turned ugly immediately. They called me selfish. They said family sacrifices. Then came the FaceTime call. My father leaned forward and said, "How did I end up with a son like you?" That was the moment I chose myself. I blocked them all. For a few days, there was silence. Then the attacks began. Someone emailed my workplace claiming I was emotionally unstable. I recognized my mother's writing instantly. Human Resources listened to me. They documented everything. Legal warned that further contact would be harassment. My father showed up at my old grocery store job demanding to know where I was. Security escorted him out. They tried to control the story, but the truth spread instead. Ryan's fiance's family asked to see finances. They found debt, no savings, and no stability. The wedding was postponed, then canceled. My parents panicked. They tried burner numbers and long emails. None of them included an apology. Ryan moved out and got his first real job. He hated it. For the first time, no one rescued him. My parents started losing friends. Their small financial business lost clients. People stopped trusting them. 6 months later, my father showed up at my apartment building. Security wouldn't let him in. I watched from my balcony as he stood there looking small and defeated. I did not go down. Ryan emailed me saying he finally understood how hard things were. He did not apologize. I did not reply. That same week, I was promoted, Senior Operations Manager. I paid off my final student loan, zero balance. I turned 34 and threw a party with people who actually chose me. No guilt, no manipulation, no fear, just peace. Some families don't lose their children. They push them out slowly until the child realizes leaving hurts less than staying. Walking away did not destroy my family. It revealed it. If you are the backup child, hear this. You are not hard to love. You were just raised by people who loved convenience more than fairness. And the moment you stop saving them is the moment you finally save yourself.